All right, I gotta come clean. I gotta be honest with you. I went out trolling for walleyes last night to try to shoot just a nighttime crankbait video. Got my butt absolutely kicked. We suck again. Graphed tons of fish, anywhere from 5 feet out to 15 feet. Tried everything and they would not eat. So today, I needed some redemption. I needed to catch a dang fish. So we switched it up. Went out for some crappies because this is a magical time of year to catch crappies. And I honestly, just full transparency, I don't care about catching a crappie or a bluegill in a boat. Ice fishing, man, I will walk 7 miles. Yes, believe it or not, I will walk 7 miles down a logging trail.
Did you get a merp? Is that true?
Oh no.
It doesn't get much murpier.
That's murpy.
But right now is such a good time to scout early ice spots and find where those fish are. So you don't have to drill 200 holes, you can go right to where they were at. Late fall and they're gonna be there. And it's just a magical bite. Once the water temps dip down into the 40s, the crappies pile in these deep holes. I'm gonna attempt to clean fish while I talk, which I can't really walk and chew gum, so we'll see how that goes. But these crappies will pile in these deep holes. And all summer long, those fish have been on weed flats, on weed edges, cruising all over in that shallow, you know, maybe 10 to 18 foot cabbage coontail mix. But once the water dips into those 40s, they start piling out in the deep holes, the deep basin, and they seriously congregate. That's gonna be tasty. And they congregate so tight that even a guy who doesn't fish for panfish can go just catch a fish every single drop. And the trick is idling around and not fishing until you graph a zillion fish. You'll know when your graph lights up because they just pile. It's not one here, one there. It's hundreds or sometimes thousands. And it's almost always in these deep holes. And the best way to catch them is, without a doubt, you can't even argue with me, a Rapala Jigging Rap. A little mini number 3. Some folks use number 5. I love the number 3s because they're compact, they're great all-around size. Scarfed. We need a pliers. And they weigh almost 1/4 of an ounce with how compact they are. And the whole thing is, you can catch them on anything, right? Getting down fast and getting in front of their face and getting them to jump on it. Getting those active fish to come up out of the school and eat that bait versus messing around with a light 64th ounce jig. You always gotta do a double brap. Brap, brap, whether it's a drill, a weed trimmer, or whatever, brap, brap. So on those Jigging Rap setups, I like using 4-pound Sufix Advance Mono. Mono because crappies are called paper mouths, right? Super thin paper mouths, they tear hooks. Mono is just a shock absorber. You have less torn hooks. It's cheap and it just works well. 4-pound, you're never gonna break on a crappie, ever, no matter how big they are. I do a little size 12 barrel swivel because you're gonna get a lot of line twist to a size 00 crankbait snap just for switching colors. And that's all you need. That's literally it. And you grab these fish and you drop down. And the whole thing with that Jigging Rap, that all year you're hearing like, rip that bait, right? Snapping, ripping. Nope, not for the crappies. Don't do anything. It's insane. I've put a camera down there and you can be holding your rod, and just from the wind, just from the boat movement, just from you not being able to hold completely still, that thing is moving so much. So the most that I ever do with it is just little wiggles in place. Once in a while, I'll do a little bigger hop if a fish is off to the side or I'm trying to call them in. But you can literally just hold it in place. Wait till you feel that thump. And if they're really hitting, they'll even throw slack in your line. It's such a fun, addictive bite, because if you find one, there's a million. Super dark. You probably can't see this, just like you can probably barely see that Jigging Rap because it just engulfed it. That's another, like, I don't know, high-end keeper, 11 and a half, 11, solid fish. But I know they're crappies, I know they're not giant walleyes, but anytime you can go out and just catch a pile of fish, drop after drop after drop, dude, it just brings out the little kid in you, or it does in me anyway. Now, one thing I've got to tell you is those deep fish in that 30, all of our fish today came in a 30 to 35 foot edge of a deep hole. And any fish that you catch over 30 feet is not gonna make it. I don't care how slow you reel it up. I don't care if you put it in the water to let it go and it swims down, it's dead. It's already dead and it might not even know it yet. You have to keep it, whether it's big or small. I did not want to keep a 14-inch crappie today. That's the big one of the day. I also didn't want to keep this, whatever it is. But that's part of that deep water bite. You have to keep whatever you catch. And once you get enough for a meal, you get out of there. Whether it's you go home, you go fish for something else, or you slide up and fish shallower fish. There's definitely fish shallower. There's fish up in those cabbage coontail weeds all year long. It might not be 1,000 fish in the school. You might slide up to like even that 18 to 23 foot edge and pluck a few off of a pod. But you can't, I know it looks like they swim away, they don't make it. Their innards are already turning into outwards. So the good news is you get to have a little fish fry. That's what we're doing tonight. So we're switching it up. We're taking a little break from walleye fishing to go catch as many fish as we want, as fast as we want. And man, it just feels good to set the hook and know that those fish are literally going to be there, not just for early ice, they're going to be there basically until pre-spawn or spawn next year. It's a go on.